It's a jail here. Jail. Thanks for coming. My friend Natalie drove down from Athens, come see the show. All right. Number one, always put your trust in the Lord. Number two, you are beautiful. Number three, never let any man control who you are. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta listen. You gotta listen sometimes. I was talking to one of my sisters the other day, just trying to get to know her, and she was like,
my mother named me Mahagony. My friends call me brown skin. My story ain't too different. My father wasn't around when I was growing up. Wasn't there to witness me almost throwing up the first time I had my period. It started in first period. Since my mama had to work, I learned a lot from experience. At age 14, me and my friends raced each other to see who could lose our innocence first, and I won. Maybe that's how the story should have begun. See, I used to be in love with this brother named Twan, who convinced me to have abortions for what could have been our first two daughters, or maybe our first two sons. By age 18, I had denied life twice because I didn't want to be another unwed teenage mother living off of welfare. I've seen poverty, and I've seen single-parent homes, and I know it's hell there. Yeah, I remember like it was yesterday. Me and Twan used to make love to India Irie, brown skin. He would call me his queen. He said, Mahagony, I love your brown skin. My mother named me Mahagony. My friends call me brown skin. The one and only daughter of Brenda Smith. She told me, Mahagony Nicole, in life, you need to remember three things. Number one, always put your trust in the Lord. Number two, you are beautiful. Number three, don't ever let any man control who you are.
Yeah, so she told me about the two abortions she had, and then she began to tell me about her father and what they had been through.
My father used to be a jazz musician downtown on Bill Street in Memphis. My father played in this group called Mahagony Moonlight. That's where I get my name from. My father's name is Reuben Hopkins. My father met my mother when she was a senior in college. She attended Tennessee State up in Nashville, 3 hours away. After meeting each other, they started growing toward each other, and one day, Reuben asked Brenda the question, will you marry me? My mother must have told this story a million times.
Reuben was playing trumpet on stage one night. He put his trumpet down and walked my way, grabbed me out of the crowd, said, baby, come on, follow me. I got something to say. I want to do this thing right. On the coldest of the night, he brought me on stage and said, baby, will you be my wife? Will you marry me? Of course I said yes, not knowing of the stress that he would bring me in the next several years. From me, he produced so many tears. I cried so many tears, shed so many tears, cried so many tears from the nights he beat me, simply because me, as an elementary school teacher, was bringing in more income than he. Cried so many tears from the nights he beat me, simply because his music wasn't taking him the way he wanted to be in life. Cried so many tears from the nights he beat me, simply because I was pregnant with you. Mahagony, he beat me so bad one night, I thought you were going to be a miscarriage. Reuben, I don't know what happened to Reuben. I don't know. He started chasing after other women. Said he wished he had never met me. Said I was just old. Then one day he left to get a loaf of bread and never came back home, leaving me and you alone. That was just fine. That was just fine with me. Yeah, and then recently, she told me how she met her father for the first time.
4 months ago, at the age of 24, I gave birth to my second daughter. As I held her in my arms, I spoke to her the words my mother spoke to me. Number one, always put your trust in the Lord. Number two, you are beautiful. Number three, don't ever let any man control who you
are.
My mother named me Mahagony. My friends, they call me brown skin. 4 months ago, at the age of 24, I gave birth to my second daughter. 4 months ago, my father placed his eyes upon his grandkids for the first time. 4 months ago, my father placed his eyes upon me for the first time. With tears in his eyes, so many tears he cried, simply because he was absent for so long. Simply because he saw my mother and I were holding strong, holding on. Simply because he knew he never played his part. He said,
let me speak from my heart.
It was an unfamiliar silence as he spoke his words, as he spoke to my mother, my 2 girls, and I. He spoke from his heart as he spoke to 3 generations of black women. It was an unfamiliar silence as he said, I know I haven't been there for you, so I can't fully comprehend all that you've been through. But this is my apology. This is my apology as a father, as a husband, as a brother, as a son, as a black man. I apologize. I apologize to you.
Mahagony.